They simulated a Class 13 Deathworld. Then humans asked for a harder mode. The Galactic Research Council had spent decades perfecting the Deathworld simulator. It was their crowning achievement, a vast computational construct capable of recreating every hazard, every predator, and every nightmare environment a sapient species might endure. The simulator's maximum difficulty was based on the worst of known worlds, Class 13. That was where most species agreed the scale ended. No one survived there. No one except, apparently, humans. When Earth was first classified as a death world, the Council had assumed a mistake. A Class 13 designation for a planet that still hosted civilization? Impossible. But scans confirmed it. Volatile climate, hyper-aggressive fauna, constant tectonic activity, toxic flora, and pathogens that should have eradicated life long ago. And yet, humanity had not only survived, it had thrived. To settle the matter once and for all, the Council invited human representatives to test their simulator. If the simulator could break them, the classification would stand unchallenged. Ambassador Therek, a crystalline being whose species had perished after a mere 5 minutes in Class 11 conditions, addressed the gathered audience. "Humans," he said carefully, "you will enter our simulation of Class 13. It will mirror the deadliest environments we have ever cataloged. This is not a challenge. It is a demonstration." The human delegation exchanged glances. Colonel Mason, broad-shouldered and scarred from a lifetime of Earth's casual brutality, only smirked. "So we just survive?" Therek nodded. Mason cracked his knuckles. "Sounds like home." When the simulation began, the audience of galactic species leaned forward with anticipation. A barren wasteland unfolded across the chamber's hollow screens. Acid storms raged in the distance, volcanoes ruptured with furious plumes, and a sea of carnivorous vines writhed just beyond a cracked desert. Predators the size of starships prowled the horizon. The humans simply shrugged. Sergeant Alvarez scavenged branches, fashioned a spear, and by the first hour had brought down a 6-legged apex predator that had terrified the Council's bravest soldiers. Corporal Singh built a shelter from volcanic rock, casually ignoring the tremors that sent others screaming for the exit. Mason himself walked through a toxic fog, coughing, but still alive, his body metabolizing the fumes in a way no alien could comprehend. The aliens watching were horrified. "These conditions," one delegate whispered, "are unendurable." "Impossible," another added. Yet they adapt. By the second day, the humans weren't just surviving. They were comfortable. They had fresh water from a geyser they redirected. They had fire. They had cooked meat. Mason even whittled a deck of cards from bone and bark. When a swarm of venomous sky serpents descended, the humans treated it like sport. Alvarez shouted, "Skeet shooting, boys!" and filled the sky with sharpened stakes, laughing as the creatures fell. The audience had seen enough. The simulation was paused. Thereka's crystalline form pulsed with unease. "Humans, you have endured what no other species could. You have proven your world's classification correct. Class 13 is your natural state." Mason tilted his head. "That's it?" The chamber fell silent. "That is survival at the highest possible difficulty," Therek said slowly. The humans glanced at each other. Alvarez grinned. Singh shrugged. Mason spoke for them all. "Got anything harder?" The council erupted in disbelief. "Harder?" cried a chitinous ambassador, clattering its mandibles. "There is no harder. Class 13 is the limit. Beyond it lies only annihilation." "Funny," Mason said, folding his arms. "Because back home, we call most of this a weekend camping trip." The simulator engineers exchanged nervous glances. "We could increase variables," one murmured. "Stack threats simultaneously, remove recovery periods, enhance aggressors. Against every instinct, they obeyed the humans' request. The overdrive protocol was activated, a mode never intended for demonstration. Simultaneous disasters struck, hurricanes of molten glass, predators in coordinated packs, tectonic fissures opening beneath their feet, pathogens airborne and waterborne, suns that flared unpredictably. The council expected screams. Instead, they saw Mason's squad move like a single organism. "Alvarez, secure the high ground," Mason barked. "Sing, firebreak here. Jenkins, with me, double time." They adapted faster than the simulation could destabilize them. When an earthquake swallowed their camp, they built rafts from corpses of slain beasts and sailed rivers of lava like adventurers on holiday. When pathogens struck, Singh improvised filters from volcanic ash and saliva. When predators swarmed, Mason turned their corpses into traps for the next wave. Every escalation the simulator threw at them became a tool. Every threat was just another problem to solve. The audience was no longer horrified. They were silent, awed. On the seventh simulated day, far beyond any record, the humans stood unbroken atop a mountain of conquered monsters. Mason lifted a jagged blade improvised from volcanic glass. "This your hardest?" he shouted at the holographic sky. "Feels like Tuesday." When the simulation finally shut down, silence reigned in the chamber. The humans stepped out, bruised but grinning. The council could scarcely process what they had witnessed. Therika's crystalline body dimmed in reverence. "Humans, we created the ultimate trial, and you not only endured it, you demanded more." "What are you?" Mason chuckled. "We're the species that got bored when nature tried to kill us. So we built sports, war games, and extreme survival hobbies just to keep things interesting."